Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to try and cut through some of the noise around market research tools.
Yeah, there are so many options out there. It can feel pretty overwhelming if you're trying to figure out where to even start.
Totally. So, our mission today is really simple. Help you get the core thinking right when you're choosing these tools.
We're using a great piece from Kalyani Rajay at Cognitive Market Research as our guide.
Right. And we're going to pull out the key things she says you need to consider. Think of it like a cheat sheet for getting better insights.
And making smarter decisions, ultimately.
Exactly. We'll cover things like why your objectives are so important, what features really matter,
Data security, which is huge, obviously. Making sure the tools actually work for your team.
and how it all ties back to, better business results.
Okay, let's dive in then.
Okay, so Raj really kicks things off by stressing how crucial it is to know your market research objectives first. Seems obvious, maybe.
Well, yeah, but it's fundamental. She argues, and I think rightly so, that your objectives are like your compass.
How so?
They dictate everything else. Like, are you trying to figure out the why? Opinions, motivations, the qualitative stuff.
Okay.
Or are you focused on the how many? Sales numbers, traffic, that sort of quantitative data.
I see. So that basic question immediately starts narrowing down the kind of tool you'd even look at.
Precisely. For instance, if you want to understand how people feel about your brand,
Yeah.
you'd probably look at social listening tools first, right?
Uh-huh.
Not necessarily a standard survey tool.
Okay, yeah. So social listening for brand buzz, but maybe a survey if you want to know how happy customers are with, say, your support service.
Exactly. You're matching the tool to the question.
And does it get more specific than that?
Oh, absolutely. Clear objectives help you pinpoint the specific features you need within a tool type.
Like what?
Well, imagine you're exploring a totally new market. Your objective might be spotting emerging trends.
Mm-hmm.
So you prioritize tools with strong trend analysis features, maybe really good data visualization so you can see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But if your goal is more about understanding different customer segments really deeply,
Yeah.
then you're looking for tools with more advanced analytics, maybe features focused on data accuracy. It's much more granular.
So let's flip that. What happens if you skip that objective setting step? If you just jump into looking at tools? Raj mentions pitfalls, right?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
It can lead to some real headaches. You might end up investing in a really fancy tool, all the bells and whistles.
Right.
But it doesn't actually answer the questions you needed answered.
Right.
It's overkill or just the wrong tool.
Like buying that Swiss Army knife when you just needed a screwdriver, as she puts it.
Exactly that.
Mm.
Or conversely, you might pick something too basic or too complicated for what you need, making the whole research process clunky and, frankly, inefficient.
And that just wastes time and money.
Yep. Wasted resources on features you don't use or insights that don't really help.
Okay, so assuming you've done your homework, you've nailed down your objectives. What are the essential features Raj says you should look for? The kind of minimum requirements.
Right? She outlines some core elements. And top of the list is probably user-friendliness.
What does that mean in practice, though? Not just looking nice.
No, not just aesthetics. It means an interface that's, intuitive. Your team should be able to jump in and create surveys, polls, collect data without needing a PhD in software engineering.
So it makes it easier for more people on the team to actually do the research.
Absolutely. It speeds things up, lowers the learning curve.
Yeah.
Then another big one is data integration capabilities.
Meaning it needs to play nice with other systems you already use.
Exactly. Think about all the places data lives today. Your CRM,
Customer relationship management system, yeah.
your analytics software, social media tools. A good research tool needs to connect those dots.
Why is that so important?
Because you want a complete picture, right?
Mm.
A holistic view. Raja emphasizes bringing all that relevant data together in one place for analysis. It helps you avoid those data silos where information gets trapped.
Makes sense. Get the full story. What else?
Reporting and visualization. This is critical.
Turning raw data into something you can actually understand and use.
Precisely. You need the ability to generate reports quickly, ideally in real time, with clear charts, graphs, diagrams,
Yeah.
things that help you spot trends and insights fast.
So you can act on them.
And Raj adds that the reporting should be adaptable. You should be able to customize it for different audiences or needs within the business.
Okay, customizable reports. Got it.
Mm.
The article also mentions scalability. Why is that on the essential list?
Scalability is basically future-proofing. As your business grows, your research needs will likely grow too.
More data, bigger projects.
Exactly. So the tool needs to be able to handle increasing amounts of data without, grinding to a halt or becoming unreliable. It ensures the tool remains dependable long term.
You don't want to have to switch tools just when things are getting interesting.
Nobody wants that headache. And finally, but definitely not least, is data security and privacy compliance.
Absolutely crucial these days.
Non-negotiable, really. It's about protecting sensitive information and complying with regulations like GDPR or CCPA. It builds trust, avoids legal trouble. It's fundamental.
Right. And speaking of security, Raja goes into some detail about what companies should actually do to ensure compliance. What are those key practices?
Yeah, she lays out several important steps. First off, actively choose tools designed for compliance. Look for vendors who explicitly state they meet standards like GDPR in Europe or CCPA in the US.
So check the vendor's credentials on privacy.
Definitely. Then look for strong encryption. Data needs to be protected both when it's moving across networks, in transit, and when it's just sitting in storage.
Like locking it up securely.
Pretty much. Another thing is to verify security certifications. Raj mentions ISO 27001 and SOC 2 as examples. These mean the tool has passed rigorous, independent security checks.
Okay, so look for those badges of trust.
Also, ensure the tool has robust access controls. Things like audit trails, who accessed what, when.
Accountability.
Right. And multi-factor authentication adds another security layer. Plus, role-based access, so people only see the data they actually need to see for their job.
Limits exposure.
Exactly. And it's not a one-time thing. Regular software updates and patches are vital to fix vulnerabilities as they pop up.
Keeps the defenses strong.
Yep. And finally, Rajay stresses working closely with your own legal and compliance teams. Regular internal audits are key to make sure everything stays compliant over time.
It really shows that security isn't just a feature, it's an ongoing process and commitment from the tool provider.
Absolutely. It impacts trust significantly.
Okay, so you've got your objectives, you're looking for those core features, strong security. How do you figure out if a tool will actually be easy for your team to use and if it will integrate well with everything else you're using?
This is where you need to get hands-on. Rajay strongly advises in-house testing.
So using demos or free trials?
Exactly. Let your actual team members play with it. See how it feels in their daily workflow. Is it really intuitive? Can people with different tech skills navigate it easily?
Like a test drive for software.
Precisely. You need to see if it genuinely fits how your team works and if it makes things easier, not harder.
Then what about the integration part? Connecting it to the CRM and other tools?
You have to actively confirm compatibility. Don't just take the vendor's word for it. Check specifically if it integrates smoothly with your existing systems, CRM, analytics, social media tools, whatever you rely on.
You need that seamless data flow.
Yeah. The goal is effortless transition between systems. Raj points to checking for API support as a really good sign.
API, application programming interface.
Right. Usually means better, more flexible integration.
Okay, look for good API support. What else?
Don't just rely on the sales pitch. Look for case studies or reviews from other companies like yours. How did the integration actually work out for them?
Real-world evidence.
And one more thing, evaluate the technical support offered by the vendor. If you do hit integration snags, how helpful will they be? Good support can make a huge difference.
That's a really practical point. Okay, so all this effort, finding the right objectives, features, security, usability, integration, it all comes back to making better business decisions, right? How does Raj connect the dots there?
That's the ultimate payoff.
Yeah.
She really emphasizes that the right tools deliver actionable data and insights. Not just numbers, but information that directly informs those crucial business decisions.
So it helps you understand customers better, see market trends.
Exactly. Understand customer preferences, spot market shifts, even keep an eye on competitors. It gives you a much more comprehensive understanding of the whole landscape.
Which means you can base your strategies on actual evidence, not just guesswork, like where to put resources or how to develop products people actually want.
Precisely that. And the ability of these tools to process lots of data easily, especially with real-time reporting and clear visuals, is massive. It lets you quickly see patterns, identify opportunities, or flag problems.
Like that survey example, again, getting quick feedback on a product and tweaking it based on what customers are saying.
Right. And some advanced tools even offer predictive analytics.
Looking into the future a bit?
Kind of. They use data to help anticipate future trends or market shifts. That allows companies to be proactive, not just reactive, and potentially gain a real competitive edge.
Wow. Okay.
And when you integrate these research tools effectively with your other systems, CRM, marketing platforms, Raj argues you get this incredibly rich, 360-degree view of customer behavior.
Which helps optimize everything.
Yeah, optimize strategies, reduce business risks, and ultimately boost overall performance. It all connects.
This has been incredibly helpful in sort of demystifying the process of choosing these tools. So if we had to boil it all down, what's the single main takeaway from Raj's perspective in this article?
I think the key takeaway is that choosing the right market research tools isn't just a technical decision, it's a strategic one.
Okay.
It has to start with crystal clear objectives. Then it's about rigorously evaluating those essential features, security, usability, integration, always keeping in mind how the tool will actually help you make better, more informed decisions.
So focus on those fundamentals, and you can move past feeling overwhelmed by all the options.
Then actually start using data effectively, harnessing it for real insights and, better results.
Right. And that maybe leads to a final thought for you listening.
Yeah, maybe think about this. What's the one primary market research question or objective you have right now for your job, your project, whatever you're focused on?
Just identifying that single objective.
Can immediately give you a much clearer filter. It helps you start looking at potential tools in a much more focused way and begin to unlock the value that's definitely sitting there in your market data.